Another night has arrived, and the auroras are in the sky, glowing just as bright as you and I. Welcome back to Aurora Airwaves. I'm your host, Jordan Bianchi. This week I'm reflecting that there's something special about having people in your life that remember you when you were young and a young creative. A lot of the times before we go through a deep healing experience, we might not remember who we were at that age. Depression, doubt, the censor can really block our ability to see the light that was soaring through us when we were young. That's why it's important to go back and reconnect with people who were key members of our lives at different points, because they can give us insights as to who we were, how excited we were, what our passions were, and what they saw in us. My friend Elmer Beriguete, who's an audio engineer in Los Angeles, was there in my college screenwriting class when my passion for the Northern Lights first began. Our professor Juliet Giglio gave us the assignment of choosing stories that we could see as a feature screenplay, and we wrote the first act of them. It's hard to believe that in such a short amount of time, such strong work and ideas can come to life. But that's how it goes. Elmer and our classmates came up with fantastic stories, many of which I can still remember today, which is wild if you think about it, after working on and consuming stories for so many years. It goes to show that a supportive environment with a charismatic creative guide and supportive energetic peers can be the ultimate turbo boost. Since the pandemic, Elmer and I have exchanged ideas on spirituality and creativity, and upon launching Aurora, I knew that we had to bring these ideas to the airwaves. So sit back and enjoy this conversation.
So my name is Elmer Beriguete, and me and Jordan went to college together. We both studied film. It was pretty dope. We became really good friends there. And after college, I went out to the military for 4 years. Worked on aircrafts. It was fun, but realized that wasn't really like my vibe because I'd just gone to school for film, and I thought, let me just do some screenwriting and go and move to LA. And when I came to LA, I picked up some schooling for audio engineering, so I could write and like be in the film industry without having to like rely solely on like, being a writer. And I found myself just loving audio, I worked at some studios, I've worked around like Universal theme parks and, like live shows. And I've just kind of just been jumping around LA, just working any audio gig I can find. And it's been 4 years of that. And now I'm like just working on short films, applying to like big studios, trying to get like, an engineering job, a little 9 to 5.
I remember that one point when you were like, maybe this was like 3 years ago during the pandemic or something, and you were just like, I don't care what the gig is.
Yeah.
I just want to work with audio. And it was cool because I remember it wasn't this attitude of like, I just need like money or I just want to like do something to climb the ladder. Like you just wanted to sit with waves, you know what I mean? Like you just wanted to saturate yourself and understand and play. And I think that's so cool, especially from like coming from the film background, that you wanted to try something that most filmmakers run away from, including myself.
I ran away from it like when we were studying together. I remember doing boom op for like this short film, and I hated it. I was just like, oh, why do I have to be the sound guy? Like, funny enough, I was so pissed. I was just like, I don't want to hold the boom.
All
like,
you have to do is not hit the actor in the face.
Exactly.
Or get a tree.
It's insane. Like, I literally have a picture of me in college with me and like a boom, like sitting in the back of a car because like we're doing a running scene and I was trying to get like audio, which was super fun.
Oh, no.
And like, I'll find a picture and I'll send it to you. It's on Facebook. It's amazing.
I would love to see that.
Yeah. So I mean, I just did some boom. I did some sound mixing on set 2 days ago, and I ran boom. And I was having so much fun, and I remember like when I was 18, 19, it's like for some reason I thought it was like not cool or like, being the actor was the most fun part or like, being the director, but I was just like...
Which you got to do too.
Yeah, which I got my hand on all of that, and I like, at the end of the day, like, audio just called me.
Yeah. I wonder
So-
why. I wonder what were your first moments of this is something that I could spend a lot of my time with and is nourishing for me.
Oh my god, I know. It's because like you have a product at the end of it, and it's like there's a quicker turnaround. For me, when I was writing scripts, it would take me like a month or two to like even just get the first draft. If I can sit down and and work on a song or something and get it done in like a couple of hours, or if I get a film from someone that's like 4 minutes, like 5 minutes, I can sit down, like work on it. It'll be done in a day or two. Like the turnaround rate is just like way faster, and I like being able to jump on different projects and like being useful in different areas of audio. And I feel like with writing for me, I felt kind of just stuck in this room, like, which I'm still technically stuck in the room right now, but I have headphones on, and I feel like God because I get to like tweak like every little frequency and like make shit sound like Cybertron and like T-Rexes roaring, it's
Yeah, well, so that's interesting. Like, what kind of like projects are you working on right now? If you're like, I feel like every other thing you put out is I'm just like, oh wow, this is a completely different project, or this is a whole different thing. Or your redesigns, or you're working with musicians and you're working on films. Like, it's so cool that you're juggling so many. It probably keeps it fresh too.
yeah. And the turnaround rate, I'm telling you, it's like so much faster. And like when I get on bigger projects, if I'm working on a feature film that's like 2 hours, that's gonna be a lot of work. But like right now, I'm working on like 10-minute films. I can do all of it myself. And that's what I was working on previously to this. So I was working on this short film, and there's this like really gruesome scene at the end, and it's amazing, just like blood, and there's like crunching, and it's like disgusting. And I'm just like, I'm
They're
like
like,
smiling.
"Go for it."
Yeah, I'm like, I'm like, person like biting person's neck off. I'm like, yes, more blood, and I'm just like on my microphone doing like suction noises, like, and like recording that. So I,
Like, where do they come from?
yeah, yeah. So yeah, I can like take sounds from the internet. I could create my own. It's like a sandbox, and
Yeah.
I don't know. Creatively, it just like it makes me like, it's so much fun to look at it and share it with my friends and see how they feel, and it's such a communal like kind of art form. I feel.
Well, it's a cool spot to be as well, because you're, like your point about screenwriting, you spend so long trying to write a script, and then we realize, oh, no one's gonna shoot this. Or if I want to
Yeah.
shoot it, if I want to see it, I have to go shoot it. And then like the things we were writing, like I think
Yeah.
of your voodoo sorcerer epic
Oh,
from
yeah.
Juliet's class. Oh, when was that? Like over
That's a
10
good
years
one.
ago.
Yeah.
And that was so
Oh,
cool.
man.
But like, and I was doing the same thing with my whole Aurora story. But it's like
Yeah.
we were so excited about it, and then it's like,
I know.
who's ever gonna shoot these?
Yeah.
Like unless
But we
we had
did
a
it.
huge following. But we did it.
But
You
it
know.
exists now, you know what I mean? Like, we created that we pulled it from the universe, and, like, it's tangible. And who knows? Like, I'm glad you're doing something with Aurora Airwaves, because, like, I remember you talking about it in college, and you're like, I have these visions, this idea of the Northern Lights, and I'm just like, wow. Like, honestly, I thought Northern Lights were cool, but, like, before you came along, like, I didn't, like, find them to be like that special because I never thought about it for too long. But like ever since I met you, every time I see the Northern Lights reference in film or like anywhere, I always think of you, and I'm just like,
That's cool.
that's some magical stuff.
That's so cool that like there are people that remember me at that point. When
Yeah,
things were starting, things were brewing.
dude, you were so cool.
I don't know what
love
it was.
You worked the front desk too. It would be so like
Yeah.
you would always lift my spirits every time I'd come, like from like a party or something. Like Jordan, and you're like,
I know.
how
We had
did
a
you
good
see?
time.
We had a great time.
I remember
Oh.
when you got to like see my dorm for the first time, and you were like, "Are those Harry Potter wands?"
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, why?" And we just like cast spells for like 20 minutes, and I was like, "Yes." Ooh. Let's see. Is that a Sirius Black one? Yes.
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 Serious?
I don't know the others.
I got Baldy,
Oh.
Voldemort. No.
Old.
I got Death Eater one. Very evil theme here.
Thorny.
And this is just a random nothing one from like just the parks. Like it doesn't belong to anyone.
Oh, so it's just yours.
Yeah, well, it's
He
my
chose
friends. No.
He found
Hopefully-
it. You found it in his apartment.
Yeah, no, he gave it to me because like I was growing a little collection, so he was just like, eh. But
See, I love that you have those like ready to go. One's a
oh yeah,
Mine
I
are
was
like
just-
in that, I think mine are in that room. Usually, I have had one on my table here, but I just cleaned it off.
So when I have people over and like we're about to go out and stuff, all my friends are like just drinking, getting a wand, and we're just going haha, like throwing spells at each other. It brings out the kid in people, like
Yeah,
and little moments like that are special.
well, they're always there, and I think that's the hard part. We hide that part away. Hide those parts away, and it's our job to bring that out.
Yeah, surround
It's just
yourself
like
with
when we got
people.
to chat with people that we knew back when we
Yeah.
were really goofy.
Yeah,
We were
exactly.
like loud in Juliet's class. We were like,
Yeah,
we had a
We were
great time,
happy.
but like we weren't. Yeah,
Yeah.
we were happy.
we're happy kids. We thought we were gonna be screenwriters. We're like, yeah, we're gonna write films.
But that was her vibe though. She was just like, you can do it. Actually, I'm gonna get her on the podcast.
Oh, that'd be
She'll be
amazing.
my guest soon. Oh, it'd be so
Yeah.
cool. Maybe what I should do is I'll do like an interview with her, and maybe we need to do the group conversation with her too, like a reunion kind of thing. We
Oh
can all
my
talk
God.
about.
Have you talked to
vibes.
her about like the Northern Lights? She was literally in Alaska.
Yeah, I didn't hear if she saw them.
Hopefully.
I'm sure that'll get brought up.
Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah.
I kind of wanted to like hide my. I kind of didn't want to ask because I didn't want to be like, yo, I want to save that for the camera. But
Yeah. No, you should. That'd be awesome.
she was just in Switzerland too.
Yeah, dude. Oh my God. Like I
She's
want.
so
Like
cool.
I know. Like she's doing that with her husband too. Like I can't wait for like that part of my life. Because I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm just gonna be fucking traveling. But
But
like
she
oh my
always
God.
had that attitude of like, if you want to do something, go and do it. If you want
Yeah.
to write a script, go write a script. If you don't,
Yeah. That's.
Oh, I see a
She's
little
like
friend.
a top-notch creative. Oh. Oh, it's
Hi.
scrappers.
hi. I have memories of him barking.
Yeah. He's just
The
looking at you.
walks.
But yeah, I feel like to be a successful creative, you kind of have to like really jump in face first and like
Mm-hmm.
believe in yourself, because like if you don't believe in yourself, the rest of the world won't.
Well, I think it's interesting because when I think of like college, I think of a photo of you dressed up as a green alien
Oh
in like
yeah,
a junkyard or something, and we were
Yeah.
shooting that web series we were working on, and we
Dude, I wish I was-
shot a lot of other fun things. And then I think of your like
Omnividence.
your way it all wove around.
Yeah.
Omnividence.
I love Omnividence. Oh my God, that was such a great idea and
It
great
could be-
execution with the editing for like where we were at. You know what I mean?
That was the sophomore fail.
Yeah. No,
At least
I
I
thought
was a
it was.
sophomore. You were a junior. I don't know.
Yeah.
We put off a lot.
But still cool. We still made something. We still like, it's tangible. We tried. Like it gave us like a sense of like accomplishments. Like little ones like that are so important in like the grand scheme of things.
It was cool. We decided not to do like one little short film
Yeah.
because they
Little
were like what,
episodic.
like 10, 12-minute 3-part
Yeah.
web series. Like that was a lot to do.
Yeah. I wish I was into like audio back then, and I would have like done some posts. But
Can't the camera in their eyes.
yeah. Oh my God. But you did a great job. I mean, there was audio for a lot of that stuff, and like the voice was very robotic in the meeting room. Like when Amy did
Oh
the.
yeah, that was
Yeah, that was-
Jess.
Oh, that was Jess.
Yeah.
Well, that was a good sounding, like robot voice. So like,
Thank you.
yeah. So I mean,
I should put that on my LinkedIn.
coming from yeah,
Can
coming
do
from,
robot. Audio guy says I can do robot voice.
I think I said it was good, but yeah, no. Oh, Snizzle biscuits.
But I think it's so
Um,
interesting that like we did so many really fun, goofy projects, and then your career's kind of like taken many twists and turns. Like, it's
Yeah.
so interesting that you wanted to go into the military right away.
Yeah, I just wanted to pay off my student loans, man.
There you go. That's
Ah.
good motivation.
Yeah, just like, cause I was like, I'll go to the service, write my scripts, and just do this for 4 years. And yeah, I went in, didn't write one lick of scripts because it was very daunting 4 years, and yeah, that was definitely an interesting turn. But I had a lot of fun, and it gave me opportunities to like come out here and actually follow my true passion. So I'm grateful for that, for sure.
Sure, you get a lot of stories out of it too.
Oh yeah, dude. Like it's like I would just like wake up, go to work, and just like be surrounded by like fighter jets, just like revving up like it was Top Gun.
No, I don't know.
Yeah.
Top Gun, sure, but that's
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah, we'd get the planes ready, and then like the pilots would come and we'd have to salute them, and we'd stand there and they'd salute, and they come in with like Ray-Bans and shit. Like, oh, thanks for setting up our plane. Then they go pshoo, and just dip out.
Do you
Then
have
they
to wear
fuck
like
some
noise
shit up.
canceling headphones, or
Yeah.
maybe not noise canceling headphones? Thicker
Ear
things.
protection. Yeah. We had like
Yeah.
two, like one underneath. Imagine having like earmuffs and then like earplugs. So you had earplugs and earmuffs on. But a lot of
Okay.
people would only wear the earmuffs, not the earplugs. They wouldn't do double protection, which you should because, I definitely didn't do it sometimes, but for the most part, I did do double. It's just sometimes you're just working outside and they start coming in and you're just like, I don't feel like sticking something in my ear.
Yeah,
Yeah.
makes sense. That's how my grandpa lost his, or he damaged his hearing, like back in I don't know if it was like around the Korean War time, but he was in Europe and like in base camp or whatever. They would
Yeah.
just target practice with nothing.
Yeah. I can only imagine. So,
Great way to get nerve damage.
yeah. I like tinnitus, but like, it it's still good. Like, it's hysterical that I went into audio with fucking little ringing ears, but it's still great.
I bet you
And
most audio engineers have ringing. I feel like everyone I know that's in music or like audio, like they stood too next to a huge speaker at a concert once, or
yeah,
something's happened in some way.
I just had a head start. I have to make
That
this
was your
count before I
sign.
go.
I think it's a very spiritual thing, actually. For like when I see posts about that, like when your ears are ringing, it means like your throat chakra is opening up. You're learning how to communicate and absorb things. So maybe you're on the right path.
Yeah, good. Oh, dude. So I definitely want to talk to you about like my spiritual journey and like kind of where I'm at right now,
Yeah.
because like I feel like I'm in this place of just like magic where I literally feel like everything I think like is slowly manifesting itself into reality, you know?
You're in the Elmer vortex right now. You're at the eye of the
Yeah,
storm. That's awesome. What do
but I
you?
think
What's it like? Like, where are you energetically? How did you
well,
get there?
um so like I've been battling with anxiety for like a while, and like I just wanted to understand it and why like my thoughts like were affecting my body so quickly, and then like these thoughts that I'd have
Mm.
would start racing, so like I wanted to control it. I wanted to understand why like the human body and the mind have this like this connection that like just like feeds on itself. So like understanding that, I looked into like a bunch of like spiritual leaders, like their ideas on like how our mind and our subconsciousness, even though like we might think something and not like completely mean what we think, like our subconscious will take that and like let our body run with it. So we have to give out
Mm.
intentional thoughts, even though we have like these automatic thoughts that come that might be negative, like these automatic thoughts that come in tell me that I'm anxious. I'm like, okay, I need to have some thoughts that push against it that I implement and like, no, you're fine, and like have those thoughts be more stronger than like the panicking automatic ones that will like take the reins and like tell my subconscious to like start like elevating my heart rate or like making myself feel lightheaded.
So like
So
slowly course correcting when you see
yeah,
you know the triggers happened, then
yeah,
that's your like habit pairing in the sense of now we have to implement this
yeah.
immediately.
And
Well, that's
understanding how
great.
powerful like your thoughts are, because like you might think like, okay, like it's like feeling it and believing it. So like if you believe that you're gonna be fine and like you tell yourself and your mind is gonna be fine more than like you're receiving these negative like waves, then you could alter it quickly because like your body is just following whatever your mind says. Unless you're literally dying. And for like an anxious person like me, I feel like I'm dying every day, and I'm just like, Elmer, literally, you've been feeling like this the past 3 days. This is just in your head, and you're fine. And like usually, it like
Mm.
cuts off an attack before like it can really rev up to like a 10.
Do you find there's certain things that happen that trigger these anxieties? Like if you've
Yeah,
been working long periods, or you're hitting with the wall with things, or you haven't eaten at certain points, or I don't know. Like what are Elmer triggers?
I have like a basket of them, but I think they're all interesting because they're all tied to like this emotional state of like what I want for myself and what I
Hmm.
feel like I should be doing. What's like what are my morals? So if I feel like I'm lying to like someone or like I'm not being honest about a certain thing, that will eat up at me and I'll find myself getting really anxious like throughout the week until like I tell the person, hey, like this thing, or like looking for work or looking for opportunities, waiting for things, that kind of stuff, kind of feeling like you're not good enough and stuff like that'll bring more anxiety. So like you having these conversations that you don't want to have with yourself but you need to, and like so I find myself a lot of times it's just like I'm just not being honest with myself, and like when I'm honest with myself, more often than not, like I feel better.
Well, it's interesting, like that it stems from like the anxieties about not hearing about things stem from self worth, and I think that like self worth and shame are often like grouped together in a certain way because it's like a heavy energy of I'm not
Yeah,
worth the things that I want or that I know. Like you know that you should have these things or at least have access to them in some way,
yeah,
but you are not ready or the things that you've done have gotten in the way. It's like not being ready for a job is like you haven't actually done the work, but you know
yeah,
that you've done the work, but your body doesn't understand that for some reason.
yeah. I mean, perfectly said. I mean, I can't take compliments for shit. Like people compliment me, and I'm just like, no, like I don't believe you. If I can't accept those compliments, how am I gonna know that I'm ready for like this job that I
Mm-hmm.
really want? If I can't, like, even to myself, be like, you're worth it, like you're good enough.
Dude, that's what I was like journaling about last night. I was catching myself with some negative. They weren't even like how do I say this? It was like negative thinking of how I've like viewed myself,
Yeah.
like what I'm doing and how I look and things like that. And I'm like, you're
Mhm.
fine. And then I caught myself journaling, but then you now I know how to take care of myself and I know where to go and I know where to take this and stuff. And I'm like,
Yeah.
but I caught myself and I'm like, wait. I'm writing about that I'm fine because I know where to go to better myself so I can get the thing then. I
Yeah.
got to take this back because I'm not receiving that energy now. You know, so I was like, write compliments to myself of ways I
Yeah.
see myself.
Yeah.
And I was like, everything I wrote was an achievement. And none of it was actually how I really felt. You know,
Yeah.
nice things that I. So then it was a practice of like, we need to work on this because if I can't say it to me and little me now,
Yeah.
that's something we have to work on.
No. I might take a note from your book because I need to try that as well. Just reminding myself like the things that I like about myself. And I think even with that practice, I'd probably struggle at the beginning, but yeah, like little things like that are very important tools to use. And like for the longest time, I feel like I thought caring about yourself was like corny, like hyper
Mhm.
masculine, kind of like just bottle everything down, and
Sure.
yeah. So
Did
just like
that start
achieve
to
things.
erupt in certain ways? I mean, the anxieties probably got worse.
Oh yeah. I mean, it's like constantly changing, like the things that like I focus on, but like in this era of my life, I feel like it's definitely like just self confidence right now. You know what I mean? Like not comparing myself to people, making sure that like I'm the only person I'm competing with. You know, like I'm
Yeah.
the only person that, you know, this is my life, my journey. I'm not striving to like we have goals, we need to achieve things, but like just in the grand scheme of like our spiritual journey, we're not supposed to attain a certain award or certain like home or you know what I mean, a certain amount of money. It's about like being honest with yourself and living a life that's like true and purposeful for you for the sake of enjoyment and not to like receive anything. Like we just have to be happy, and if we're happy then whatever we want will follow, or whatever the universe wants for us will follow. But like we just have to accept what comes because that's what all life is. It's just accepting the situation that's coming because it changes every day. Like people die, nothing's like forever. So like we have to enjoy every day like it's a new obstacle, like it's a new challenge or it's a new adventure, you know?
So is that one of the reasons why you've been manifesting a lot of stuff lately? Have you been, because you said that really well. Have you been accepting a lot of things lately?
Yeah. Kind of because if I
Okay.
ask for something or if I'm in a certain energy, like I really want like to work in a post studio, so like I'm applying to a lot of places. You know, I'm getting denied left and right, but like I'm happy because like at least I'm at a place in my life where I can apply to these places and like
Yeah.
have a chance. And like now I'm working on these short films and I'm like doing these sound designs and like every day I'm just constantly like learning more and more and getting better at my craft and like that's kind of what makes me happy. That's what I should pay attention to. Like money is will keep us, you know what I mean, just keeps us alive and fed, and that's important. But like working isn't happiness. You know, like purpose is happiness, but like you know, a job isn't happiness. It's like your mindset is what you know what you care about. That's what happiness is. Like fuck, goddamn.
It's well said. No, I mean, you
Yeah,
can do a
well,
lot of work and be exactly where you were.
yeah.
Or
You
kind of
can
like
work for
push back a little bit because then you forgot what your quest was or what made you happy in the first place.
yeah. What's your what's your dharma? I think that's what it is. What's your purpose? You know, like what's your purpose to help other people? You know, I think your dharma is supposed to be like, how are you giving back to like the world? You know, like what's your
Hmm.
yeah.
Well, do you feel like you can give more in this way? It sounds like you're just connecting with so many people with all these projects and school and just in ways that you haven't been able to in a while.
Yeah,
Not even a while, but I think it just sounds like a very healthy way of connecting, which is why I would think that people would want to connect with you. I mean, we're doing
yeah.
this.
No, I mean I love that about this job too. It's just like if I meet anyone that needs help making their like music sound better or like making their film sound better, I can do that, you know? And in a way like I'm kind of helping them like fully like create what like they want to create, you know what I mean? Like I'm part of this process. It's just like I can elevate someone's art and I can be there for someone and like I can hit two birds with one stone. I can like get better at my craft and I can like make someone happy, you know? And if
Yeah.
that art makes other people happy, then I made other people happy. And it's just like it's just feeding more people and like me making people happy is like I feel like one of the best things like I've figured out about like life. Like, you know, just being there for like your community and being there for like your friends and like strangers and just like helping people out. It's like so dope. And I think spiritually, I think the language of like life is just love. And if as long as we're giving out a lot of love, then like you know we're doing the right thing. And like with audio, like I feel like I'm giving out love by helping these people that like want their projects to be done. You know?
So yeah, that's so well said. And I feel like that's a lot of what I've been trying to figure out. Like, how to not just make the thing because, like, I feel like it needs to be made.
Yeah.
And, like, understand that it's the connecting part of it is as important as the making. Because there's always, like, that, like, they say, like, you know, make it for yourself because you have to show up and you have to be the one who tells the story. But then, and, like, don't entertain. And it's like, but this was that's what story is. That's what creativity is. Like, I don't know, cave paintings weren't for people to not look at. It wasn't, yeah, cavemen stood around a fire. It wasn't one guy talking to himself. Like,
Yeah.
like this is not how this works.
Look what I drew, and everyone's like, "Whoa!" It's like, "Nice one, tuk tuk." Oh. Like looking at the mammoth, like, oh.
If only he knew they would last 10,000 years.
Yeah. Oh my god.
That's the thing. Like when you like don't hit export until you're done. Like
yeah.
Could last 10,000 years.
Yeah. They would have went back and then edited a bit more. Like, oh no.
Dude, though, what have you been manifesting though? Like, I guess you're manifesting these like opportunities to apply to things. But it sounds like you're. It sounds like the sun is just hitting differently in your apartment. I don't know how else to describe it. You just sound like you're letting the vibes in instead of like just trying to decipher them. Because I feel like that was a period where you were learning how to look at the signs and you were learning about the chakras and you were learning about this, that, and the other. And now hearing you speak about this, I mean, it's been like this for a couple of years, but like it's just flowing out of you. Like you really have taken like your study of spirituality and mental health like very seriously. So now I just feel like you're supporting yourself with this knowledge, like your body's getting it.
Yeah. That's it. Like, I love how you worded that because I remember talking to you and I was like grasping at every book. Like, I need to know what like consciousness is. I need to know what.
Oh my
like,
god, you'd ask everything questions, and I was like,
yeah, it's like, but how do we know that you know? Dude, I was so hungry. Last year was an insane year. Like I finally got to a point where I was just like, okay, you have all this information, just let it come in now, you know? Like, use the tools you've learned, like, figure out which tools you like better, you know? Like, you definitely get lost. It's a journey. Like, you're really into it, and then, like, you kind of lose it for a second, and then, like, you're super aware out of nowhere, and you're like, holy shit, I forgot. This is it. This is the meaning of life. This moment right here. You have a moment with your friends, or, like, something beautiful happens, and you're outside, and you're just like, oh yeah, I'm here for this, to experience this, like these moments, you know? And it's like, yeah, every moment can be like that, but like we have a lot of distractions and we get sucked into, you know what I mean? Our TVs and our phones, but like...
But then there are those humbling moments, like for every moment, like, whoa, I can see clearly. I feel like there's just as many of, oh, how did I not see that? I had one of those yesterday, and I was just like, great day, and then all of a sudden I was like, oh, why did I do that thing? And it's like...
Do you want to share?
No, I mean, I guess I was just like, I was just talking, and I was kind of getting in a place of not being very humble about some things at work, and then I was just... I didn't even catch that I was saying it in that way, and a friend, brought it up to my attention privately, and I was like, oh, wow. So it was like, it was great, but it's like, I think in the past I would have like let it eat me alive for like a week or two. And now it's like, I accept and allow it. I do that like accept and allow thing where it's like, it's alright that it's not alright. And you just do it as many times. Like you say the thing and then you say that. And I had to do it a lot of times to be like, you're a person, dude. Like you're a person. You were working all day. You're working all week. Like you're allowed to slip up. You're allowed to see the problems, and you're allowed to not see the problems either. Like, you can't catch everything every day, and I also think, like, people that are good for you are forgiving, and will give second chances and stuff like that, so it's only, I think in the past that would eat me alive, because I was very judgmental of myself, and being perfect, and, you know, hitting all the marks. Now it's like...
Nice.
Now it's like...
That's growth, baby.
Whatever. Everyone has...
Yeah.
Like, if it's not going to work, it's not going to work. But if it's going to work, great. Thank you.
I love that. Dude, that's growth. I mean, you're not the same. We're not the same people from before. We use those experiences to like guide us, but like we're literally who we are right now, and we can be whoever we want a second from now. You know, like we're changing, and we're changing for the better. You know what I mean?
I think so.
Hey, good shit. Yeah, no, oh my god.
I feel
Dude,
like
10
it.
years on this path that we're on, 10 years, we're gonna be levitating.
We're gonna be like, hello. Just flying over here.
Definitely just smiling more. Yeah, we're gonna be smiling so much.
Dude, I can't wait.
Dude, like,
I feel like we need a trip to Peru first. An ayahuasca ceremony.
Oh my god. I'd do that.
Would you like to meet Mother Earth? See the path of the soul through the stars?
Just float up into the air, you're just like, what the fuck?
I feel like it's either like people describe those experiences and it's like the most like spiritual, like transcendent experience in the world, or like all their demons flash before their eyes for 6 hours and they can't go anywhere.
God damn. Yeah, I mean, I have a lot of demons. I feel like fuck it. I still want to take like I still want to like trip. Like I've microdosed like shrooms and stuff, but like I never fully sent it, and I was trying to wait until I was a less anxious person. So I've been in a good place now. I feel like I'm ready to do shrooms, but I don't think I'll do LSD.
Shrooms they're your teacher. What do they say? Like do shrooms with an intention, and it's like completely different experience.
Yeah. Well, I have my intentions. I just want to be like connected to the tethers of our soul consciousness, you know? Maybe see if I can like tap into
the monad.
Like the universal mind, The
dude,
Akashic
what I
records.
mean, we're like yeah, dude. Why not?
Why not? What the fuck?
What the Akashic records isn't that like the records of like who you were and what your soul's purpose is, and like the archives before you were reborn, and you forget everything so you can live with the soul contract, and
it's that, but it's like for everyone. It's like everyone's like universal knowledge in one like record. Like, you know, like if we're all connected to each other, then we all have like all the information that we will ever need, or like will ever happen if time is just a construct of this reality that we're in.
Oh, that's interesting.
So like the past, present, everything, like, you know, it's just stored in the Akashic records because that's just knowledge, you know? You know, it's God, or it's like, you know, whatever the higher being of consciousness is that we all...
So like you can tap into that. You can read... Yeah.
Read it, because we're all connected to it, so it's just like accessing it, and it's, I don't know, you're supposed to like fucking meditate and focus on that middle thing in your brain, just a word for it, pineal gland.
Yeah, the third eye.
yeah, hysterical.
Pineal gland activation.
Exactly, you really have to meditate. I mean, this is all just
you
like
get like
fun
intuitive about it.
Yeah. Just one time I was meditating, and I swear to you, I was just focusing on my third eye, that space in between there. And I was in a sauna, and I saw this like blue road, you know, appear, and like like just blue, and I didn't want to open my eyes because I didn't want to lose it, but like I was in a sauna, so I was like, fuck, I can't handle it in here anymore for too much longer. So I opened my eyes, and I quickly closed them to see if the road was still there, and it was a little bit, and I was just like I was so thrown off, because like when you close your eyes and it's like what you're watching through like the darkness, it's not like in high def, you know what I mean? You kind of just like see things in like waves, or like these blurry kind of
flashes of colors, and
but this was a steady flash of color of blue, like waves, and it felt like it was going somewhere. And
that's I mean, that's like that is the six chakras like color. Well, I guess it's more of like an indigo, like a darker blue.
So I've been trying to get back to that, but like it was just that day was just like a perfect day, and like I was just meditating. I was just really happy. It was just so effortless. I wasn't thinking about anything. It's like, okay, let me go just like breathe and like focus on the middle and not think about anything and that happened. And I feel like every time I've gone to meditate now, like I'm dealing with other thoughts, or like I find
Mm.
myself. So it's like really like letting go of everything and like having an empty mindset when you meditate. It's like the hardest thing to do. But like if you can really master that, then maybe you can achieve all these like magical things.
How did you like get into meditation? Because for me, it was like difficult. I mean, my favorite thing about it now is like sitting down. Like
Yeah.
if I can sit on the floor, I don't know why, but like just sitting down on the floor on a yoga mat or a rug or whatever, like
Yeah.
that can make my day. Which
Yeah.
sounds goofy, but like,
Yeah.
how did you get into it? Like for people who haven't done it, because everyone kind of says the same things to me, which are like, it's boring. They don't want to do it. They don't have time for it. But you found a way, even if
Yeah.
it's like, you are seeing your thoughts, which is great.
Yeah. It's fun as fuck. Honestly, like I was a big skeptic when it came to meditation, but like everyone's meditation is like their own. Like you don't have to follow these YouTube videos with like all this music and stuff. Like I think meditation is just like it looks different for everyone, and like and if you just want to be with yourself more, if you want to like kind of empower yourself, then I feel like you should meditate just because you can just like sit with your thoughts or just breathe. As long as you're breathing, you can like, because you always come out different. That's my thing. I've never meditated and not come out of meditation feeling something different than when I went in. So if you're in a
Oh,
certain state and you're like anxious or you're like feeling sad or you're feeling whatever, if you meditate, like I promise you, like you will come out of it feeling slightly different because when you pause and breathe for 5 to 10 minutes and do nothing but that in like a structured state, like your whole body's literally gonna be like, okay, we're calming down. We're like, your thoughts are doing like these things and you're breathing. It's just like this amalgamation of shit, and you come out of it, and you usually when I come out, I'm just like, dope, like fuck, I'm back in the real world. This is where I'm at, like because like when your eyes close, you kind of go somewhere else. And then when you come back, you're like, okay, this is just another place, like inside my head's a place, outside's a place.
yeah.
Yeah, not right now. Phones, but it's kind of it. Like, because my thing is, I want to be a spirit. I want to connect to like my consciousness, my spiritual consciousness, and I know that's a different plane of existence. So when I meditate, I'm closer to that plane than I am to the real world that we're in. Even if it's just like a little tiny step backwards to it, like that's closer than So like the more you meditate, the better you get at it. The more you can get closer to whatever you're trying to access. And yeah, that's my journey. Hopefully by the time I'm 80 or 90, I'm like meditating so hard I can literally fucking see the blue road and maybe see some, you know?
You'll have followed the blue road by then.
Yeah.
You'll be sitting at the other side of it, looking back at
Yeah.
you.
Yeah, exactly.
Maybe you drew the blue path.
Exactly.
Exactly.
Definitely like talk to your younger self too. Like I practice that a lot too. I talk to my younger self. Or I talk to myself in the future, like a week from now, like you did it, like
Oh, that's
hopefully
good.
hopefully I remember weeks from now, like I saw this thing recently. It was like if you're gonna go to the gym, talk to yourself after like you're done from the gym and like tell them good job, I appreciate you. Then go to the gym and then like when you're sitting at home, talk back to the person that talked to you like 2 hours ago. It's like, hey, I did it. Me from 2 hours ago. Like we did it together. Because you're the same person.
That's really cool. I really like that. I feel like often we look back at like just the inner child,
Yeah.
but to look back at yourself like an hour or two ago,
Yeah, it's
it kind of
fucking
like allows you
trippy.
to like catch up with yourself.
Yeah. It's like yeah, it's just like a slinky, and maybe as you keep doing it, apparently, you can do it for longer periods. Maybe you can connect more with like, because if you're trying to heal your inner child, and you don't really, you have to like break this barrier of time, because you are just consciousness, and that consciousness that child had is still you. which means you still connected to it, and like
And it's the same
this,
body too. It's
yeah,
changed, but like it remembers how you had to react, how
yeah,
you had to, deal with things, or how wonderful you saw the world. Like that's the other thing that like we still like within us know how we felt when we were just like living our best lives as when we were kids.
yeah,
And it's getting that groove back.
yeah, yeah, man. I remember like being so happy to like watch TV in the middle of the night underneath my blanket when my mom thought I was sleeping, like
Yeah.
watching South Park, and like the room's super dark and all you can see is like the TV. Like she comes in, you turn it off, and you're like, the
Hope
adrenaline
they're
is up,
wrong.
yeah. Act like you're
Dude, oh.
sleeping.
I would
Um,
practice like how to like turn the TV off as fast as I could. Like which sheets it would like the remote would
yeah,
work through. Like the Digimon movie is not going to watch itself again. Like
yeah.
I need to help these guys out.
You just you use through the sheets. You're like, I can't do it with these sheets. I have to have the little crack in the open. You have to hit it
Right.
from a 40-degree angle because these remotes were really just not that strong.
Lumos.
Lumos. Oh god. Yeah. Yeah. No. But yeah, no,
Well,
that's
you're
good
on
practice.
a
Try it
good
out.
path. I mean,
Thank you.
it's I don't know. It's just really exciting, like hearing the way that you talk about all this, and like even just like the way you're talking about meditation. Like it takes you to a new place, but that place is closer to you. So the way you described it, I'm like, oh, so when I'm triggered by things and I'm anxious and I'm out of my body, like first we go into our heads and then we're just elsewhere. That's how I feel.
Yeah.
Like
Same.
that's where we are a lot of the time.
Yeah.
But if like I guess that's what we have to do, right? We have to get into our bodies and then we can start to move forward or move the energy in a different way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Know what your homeostasis is. If you meditate a bunch, you'll be connected to your body more. You'll understand what like nothingness is, floatingness is. So like sometimes when I get like too stoned, I feel like that. But I'm just like, you can feel like that when you're sober and meditating. It's just a state of being, and we're all just constantly in different states of being until we're not. We're just experiencing highs, lows, and that's not all of it's good. Like I think our spirits or our consciousness wants to experience the good and bad because they can't experience it if they're not in this human form. So all of it's good or bad. So like you can't like when I'm panicking now, I'm just like, okay, this is like what I want. What like my subconscious wants. What like I can dictate whatever I'm feeling, but like nothing's bad and nothing's good. It's just it is. But so things are still bad. You shouldn't go out like murdering people. But I guess we're talking about universal. But like we still have human laws. But
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
But it's cool to see like your triggers in that because you're right. Like nothing is good and nothing is bad, but we definitely prescribe it that way. You know.
no,
But it's cool to be like, oh, I created this and I'm creating my perception of this. So let's take it
no,
back and look at
yeah,
why I might be triggered in this way.
yeah,
And then, yeah, I was having a conversation with someone recently, and it was interesting because it was like the way that I was defining spirituality is realizing that you created everything that you're experiencing. And it's
yeah.
spirituality is like a whole, it's really the act of accountability. And it's not accountability with judgment, but it's saying, this is all my construction.
Yeah, the count of oh my god, holy shit. Cause
Yeah,
yeah,
because my friend was getting really annoyed at like not have been being like spiritual enough and like wanting
yeah,
like I would have said this or I would have said that, and I'm like, well, okay, but I feel like the dynamic isn't really in a very I don't know as a healthy place as it could be because
yeah,
we're saying now it's telling people off and like I can feel the anger behind it
yeah,
versus why are you triggered by it? Why did you give your power away by being letting it trigger you?
yeah,
And then it's like, oh, well, it's my fault, and I'm like, yes and no. you know,
Yeah, no.
it's not your
It's
fault that
just,
you're triggered, but I think it's like with that accountability. It's like, what do you
yeah.
want to do with it? Like,
You're
it's okay.
creating
It's
it.
okay to
Yeah.
experience your triggers. Sometimes
Yeah.
that's really good. Sometimes, I don't know, helps with
Yeah.
clarity for sure.
100%. Like there's no growth in just happiness 24/7. You need like the friction to like grow, to like appreciate when things are good, you know? If things are always good, then you're not going to be as happy when like the sun is shining.
Yeah, you can only have a certain amount of sunny days
Yeah.
in a row. I
Okay,
don't
so do you want to hear something
know you
crazy?
that way. Uh huh. I do like you
So,
crazy things.
okay, so when you said accountability, like being spiritual is just you being
You like reeled
accountable.
back. That was great. I was trying not to laugh.
No,
It's
no,
not bad,
no,
right?
because it's amazing because I was like, there's this theory going around that, since we're all just uh, atoms, like small little atoms at the core of it, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
They say that atoms have consciousness, like when we go
Oh.
down into like,
Ooh, it's like dust.
yeah, yeah, to little particles, like they run these experiments where when they wouldn't watch these like atoms or these molecules like fucking sorry like firing off like there was this test where these I think these atoms were like firing off these like kind of lasers at a wall and like when they weren't being observed they became like waves instead of like these solid like matters so like but when they were being perceived when they were watched by the scientists they went back to solid so they're like if
Really?
at a yeah, so if at a microscopic level, like I, I don't know if it's atoms, but like there's a word for like the most smallest thing that we can like perceive.
Like electrons or
Yeah, 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 like electrons
there's
and stuff like
something.
that. But the theory
The
was
little
that like
guys. The building
yeah, if
blocks. The building
yeah,
blocks.
the building blocks to everything, like in like our desks, our plants, everything, like at a molecular level has a consciousness, and when they're not being seen, then they're just become light waves. So like there's this theory that like if I'm in this room, everything in my bedroom right now, since it's not being perceived by anyone, could literally just be light waves right now until I walk in and like the consciously aware atoms form back into the room.
I mean, that's
If
crazy.
we're yeah, if
But
like
I
we're
dig
all
it. But I dig it. Like,
yeah, so like I've been thinking about that lately. And when you said that, taking accountability of like what you're creating, because if we were spiritual beings and we're just creating everything like moment to
oh,
moment,
I see where you're going with that.
yeah, then everything that we aren't
Oh
consciously
wow.
aware of doesn't have to be consciously there. It can be consciously like light forms or anything until we come back, because we're literally creating every second as we walk in to like
Now
every
my
little
my
corner.
brain is like blowing up. Like, that's so
Yeah,
interesting because like I feel like even with that mindset, like it's whatever's in your sphere, you're connecting to.
exactly.
Like
It's
when
like
you walk
buffering
into
in
a
real
room,
time.
yeah, and it's just like
It's
all like
loading.
if we could see the threads
Yeah,
of
yeah.
how
It's
we're connecting.
loading. It's like a video game. Holy shit, yeah. Because, like, the video game doesn't show you a part of the map that you're not visiting right now. It only show you if, like, you move the
That's
camera
true,
to that map. But it's there. Like,
but it's there.
yeah, but it won't, like, manifest until, yeah.
That's like when you wake up in the morning and you haven't had any coffee and you didn't sleep right, and you're like, ugh, the map's not rendering fast enough.
Yeah.
My eyes aren't like spawning.
Yeah. But wouldn't that
Dude,
be
that's
crazy?
so cool. But I mean, it says a lot about like why we need to. I don't know, like why we need to connect with others and why we need to connect with ourselves, if that's true. Because like, what happens if like, okay, you see something and you're paying attention to it, great. But what if you see someone on a different level, or an intensity, or a frequency? Like, what does that mean? The way that you're interacting with them is now heightened. So what are their atoms doing? What are the light waves doing to support that? What is this dance
Yeah.
of like intensity and compassion and I don't know, like
Well, yeah, we
dude,
can like people like that see their people's auras like oh like that might be real for those people. They might actually be able to see it because they can like they're tapping into like more of the like the molecules or like their
That's one way to look at it.
conscious awareness is just like seeing other little things. It's just like everything
Right.
that we go through is just perspective, like our awareness of shit. And yeah, I can be aware of certain things that like you can't. Like just people that are colorblind that can't see certain colors from other people. Who's to say other people can't see added colors that we can't see, or an aura around you? You know?
I mean, a lot of people say they can,
Yeah,
which is fascinating.
yeah,
It's always interesting talking to like a psychic who like gets it, and they just start like
yeah,
pulling stuff, and you're like, what? I think
yeah.
that's the power of like intuition.
Well,
when you're like with yourself,
yeah,
and I feel like I can get there if I really like carve out the space for it.
yeah,
We're really vibing and like we're
yeah,
really opening up, but like how do you sense the vibe of someone who's not opening up? You know, that's interesting to me.
yeah, yeah. Well, we're all just like the same consciousness, and like we'll have an intuition, we'll know because our consciousness, when we're close enough, is maybe communicating through these frequencies that we
Oh,
can't see. So we're just like, oh, he has bad intentions. Maybe that's why dogs and they don't like being pet by certain people, and they're like, oh no. Maybe they can like get the aura of their like the fucked up shit that they've done maybe to another dog or to another person. Because I always wonder why some certain animals. My dog loves everyone, but he'll just pass someone and be like, "No, avoid them." Like, "Oh no, this isn't a good person."
they just know. I mean, maybe that's like it helps not being able to communicate with language.
Yeah,
Like you just like start seeing stuff differently.
I had a friend in the Bronx. Like, he would always tell me like, "Oh, we gotta get out of here." Like when we were at parties or certain places, it's like I feel like there's something bad's gonna happen, and more often than not, something bad would happen, and we just like, I just know it's my gut feeling. What's that gut feeling if not just you picking up these frequencies of people's intentions? Because if we are like this universal consciousness, he's already connected to the bad person that's about to do something bad, and it's like planning it. He's like, oh, I'm picking that up, or like I'm more heightened too. So I believe in like psychics and stuff. Maybe they're just more connected to their spiritual consciousness or the Akashic records, you know?
They've read more volumes than we have.
Yeah, yeah. So,
Yeah. No, feel like it's fascinating, and I mean it makes sense. Like you're perceiving so many things. So what if you clear a lot of the gunk out?
yeah,
Then you're
yeah,
gonna just be able to perceive a lot more, which for better or
yeah,
for worse, I guess.
yeah. If like the zombie apocalypse ever happens and I like survive in the woods, I feel like I'm really gonna get in tune with nature and meditation. I'll really be like Elmer at 100 because I have no distractions.
Just clear everything out.
Yeah, I'll definitely be more bored, but I'll
No
meditate a lot.
chemtrails.
Hmm.
No cell service.
Yeah.
Ooh.
God damn. No, hopefully not. Jeez.
Hopefully not
It's like,
too soon.
yeah, no. I feel like a couple years ago I would have been down for like a zombie apocalypse, but now I'm just like, just give me affordable rent and I'll be
Oh,
happy.
wouldn't that be nice?
Yeah. Just, oh god, give me some like fresh produce that doesn't cost an arm and a leg, and I'll be chill. And maybe some vacation time so I can see the world before I.
Yeah, we got to get you. We got to get you up to the Auroras.
Yeah, I need a passport.
I do too. Mine's expired.
Yeah, I lost my
I can't
social security
find me
card.
one. Oh
Yeah,
no. Oh no. Does that mean you have to
yeah.
like go back
I
to
think
New
I like.
York?
No, I think we're in. I think I can order it online maybe, but like I get lazy and I just don't.
I
You
know.
know.
I'm like that with all that stuff.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
okay. It's okay.
yeah. I think I have my old one. I know I've had one before, but I haven't renewed it since high school. And I know it's like after a grace period, you just have to restart it over instead of renewing it. And
Yeah.
that's it just causes
These
me
things are.
anxiety, which is crazy. My passport has been a very big item of anxiety for me throughout like my adult life. And I think it's just because I really want to travel so much. So by not having a passport, I can like have a good excuse to not travel because, I don't have my passport, so I can't travel, and I can't like be let down by like maybe not having enough money or like not being able to do it.
Well, that's interesting. Where would you wanna go? I wonder where this like lack of receiving a trip comes from.
I don't know. Well, also like I feel like I have to see my family. I haven't seen them in a while, and like there's definitely been some like you know some distance there. So like if I have a passport, I have no excuse to like then visit my estranged family. So that's a way for me, I guess, to protect myself from that situation as well. Damn, that's real. I've never really said it out loud, but these are like things that like come into my mind in this weird way, which I know, but
Wow.
they've never been formed into words. But like I know immediately as I'm saying, I'm just like, yeah, it's definitely that.
I mean, it makes perfect sense.
You know,
It's like, and that's a lot of emotional energy to have to navigate
yeah,
just to then go on a trip.
yeah. But I really want to go to like Tokyo or like Spain, see some castles.
Barcelona.
Barcelona.
Dude, I gotta get back to Europe. Oh,
Yeah.
that
I feel
northern
like I'd be a
chicken
fun
puppy.
traveler.
You'd be a great traveler.
People be like, that's
Because you'd be
Elmer?
like, let's check this out. Let's check this out. Not like, here's the regiment of the
Yeah.
day. Like, all the.
Yeah.
Like, you have to, like, go to a town and, like, have one or two things to do and, like,
Yeah.
walk around. Go into different
Yeah.
bars, just chill.
Yeah. Eat some food, meet some people, sit
Yeah.
outside, look at like the street.
Look
Like
at
I
this
just want to like,
water.
yeah, I just want to look at a different someone else's home and just sit down and be like, this is what you grew up with. Nice. And it's probably
Just, like,
normal as
go in
fuck.
and walk around like in a Pokemon game.
Yeah. Huh. Wow.
Oh, Elmer
Nice.
found $50.
Yeah.
Mine.
Yeah. I don't know. I'd be scared to travel by myself, but like I feel like I could do it. But like shit happens to people that travel by themselves. But I am like 6 foot tall and
Yeah, and who's gonna mess
a
with you?
guy. Yeah.
Well, I don't know.
I
It just
don't know.
depends on your. I don't know. I feel like I mean, you said it maybe a year or two ago. Like you're very aware when you walk down the street.
Yeah.
You
I've
know.
been trying to stop. Like I've been working on that since I talked to you about it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't really see people as threats anymore. It's more like I see them cool, and if they get closer, I'll smile. But like I let go of whatever will happen, and like I don't need a game plan every time I walk down the street on how to defend myself.
Yeah, because that was a lot, especially when you're with your dog.
Yeah. But I know a perfect way to like tie my dog to myself so I can fight and my dog won't run away.
Interesting. Survival skills.
Yeah.
In the next segment of
Yeah.
survival skills we hope you'll never have to use.
Well, yeah. Oh my god. No, hopefully, no, never. But yeah, it's just intrusive thoughts. So I have
Dude,
to.
I get it too. I like when I'm like walking down the road. Like I was like walking down the road today, and like a dad and his son, who was probably like in middle school, they were like walking behind me, and I was like, if I don't walk at the right pace, they're gonna have to pass me. What
Yeah.
will that mean? And I'm like,
Yeah.
why am I like, why am I wasting life energy on this?
Yeah. Yeah. It
But it's
doesn't
like,
matter. Yeah.
oh, there's someone coming up behind me, and my attention is back there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Why is that? I don't know. But
We want to
it's
survive so
interesting.
much. We want to live. We want to make sure that like every situation we're in is safe, so we can like protect this body and this life, because we think we only have one.
Yes, yeah.
But like when you truly know this isn't it, you have a whole spiritual world afterwards, and you're like, cool. Let me just live my life, and what will be will be.
When I get in my head, I forget that.
Yeah.
And I start to say things like, I haven't done enough, or I didn't finish that thing I wanted, or like all the regrets start popping in. But the regrets are never like, for the most part, they're just achievements that haven't been completed yet.
Yeah.
You know, it's like if I
Yeah.
really sat with it, I could like let all those go.
Mm-hmm.
It'd be hard.
Yeah. No, for sure.
That's why I wonder, like, if anybody like can go into the avatar state. You know, like unlock all the chakras, because like,
Yeah.
how do you connect with everything and then be okay with letting it all go? Like having beautiful, beautiful memories and then realizing that's a form of attachment.
Yeah.
And you have to be okay with letting that all go. And it's like, our whole society is terrified of that.
Yeah.
I mean, like dementia and Alzheimer's, like those are just two
Yeah.
of the biggest, like the scariest words you can see. I guess it
Will I
takes the
not be?
choice out.
It's like you don't want to lose your sense of self, and if you don't have your memories, if you have dementia and stuff, are you really the same person? You know? Are you still there?
It's
The answer
tricky.
is yes. If you're consciously aware, it's not your mind who you are, it's your consciousness just experiencing it. Even if you've
Ooh,
forgotten
well, okay.
everything, yeah, you're
That's a
just a
good
conscious.
answer.
You're just the experience, the person that you are now. It's just a consistent thing that's been there. But if anything, I feel like people with dementia and stuff, in a weird way, like they just reverted back to pure consciousness in a sense where it's just like they're just aware, you know? And it's sad that they're not like the person that they used to be, but like they're still consciously aware. They're still like having
Oh,
the
if you play
experience of
music or something that they knew back in the day, like those videos where like someone will just like perk up
yeah,
and like start singing a song or like things like that. It's like,
yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
there's so many layers to the brain and the way it
So
connects
that's
with
my
everything.
so yeah. So we're just consciousness then like after all of this and we're just awareness then like that's just literally we're not gonna be worried about who we were or like what our memories are. We'll just be that awareness. And that's what's scary to me. Like what's that feel like to just be awareness, not be Elmer anymore? You know?
That'd be dope. You
Yeah.
think it's possible to get rid of that label?
Yeah. I mean, when you hear about all these people's like near death experience, like I've gone through like the catalogs and like the common thing that like I hear in every single one is just like they wake up from this dream and they're like, "Oh, I'm this person. I wasn't Elmer. I am this," you know?
Oh,
And they always say the same thing. They always come back and they're like, "I know that I'm not this. I'm like this other being," you know? So, we're all just these beings going into like, this reality and we come out. That'd be interesting, but then that's another being, that's another sense of self, you know? Or is that being sense of self a different, you know? Because it's just like,
it's a
yeah.
lot to process because it's like you are. I feel like with the idea that like you let go of your sense of self is then the transition to saying that we're all one like mega spirit. Like we're all the consciousness of the universe. We're all connected in that way.
Yeah.
So I feel like that's where it starts to get tricky, but it makes sense when you go back to the basics of like, we are all one.
Yeah.
We are all connected, and it's not just by random threads that really connect us. It's all been there the whole
Yeah.
time. What would you say to yourself when you were in school and you were learning how to write and you were learning how to make films? Well, like taking care of a young artist is such a delicate task. And then
Yeah.
especially like when you moved to LA, I wonder like in those two periods of your life, what was your level of awareness and what would you say to yourself to work with yourself to be more balanced or something? I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't want to say
Great.
advice, more like
No.
coaching or I don't know.
Yeah, no. I think that's a great question. And I think that just better, like, can help me understand what, like, kind of what I've learned and, like, can maybe, like, what I can do moving forward, like to strengthen these ideas that I've built. But like what I tell myself, like, in those early years, uh, would just be to like really find something that you like doing for free. If like you never got paid ever and you're just doing something like what's gonna make you happy and make you feel fulfilled. So like every day, like you just do it a little bit, you're happy, you have something to look forward to or something to build on, especially creatively, you know what I mean? You have to make stuff. If you're just thinking about the stuff that you're gonna make, you're just gonna like be in this
Yeah.
ongoing circle of like not creating stuff and like not thinking it's good enough, but like just like I tell myself to make stuff, throw it out there, work with as many people as you can, make friends because like when you have this community of people, then you can push each other because if we're all the one consciousness, what I've realized is when you're with people, like your work doubles, triples in speed and triples in quality because like you have their energy like adding with you and it's just like do shit together with people. Make sure you're cool with doing it for free and have fun because our time here is limited and like the whole point of like being creative is that we get to have the most fun out of everyone. So if you're not having fun being creative, then you're not being creative. Like you're missing the whole point.
That's well said.
Hmm.
I wonder what a point for you was when you weren't having fun. Or you were getting in your way. If there was a moment in a certain class, or if there was a transition period where
Yeah.
you got stuck or
Usually,
something.
usually it's just not believing in myself or like comparing myself to other students. I remember going to like these awards in school and seeing like these kids that were my age winning these like short film awards and stuff, and like
Mm-hmm.
I always wanted to be like a part of that, but like I wasn't putting in the work. I wasn't making short films. I wasn't like spending my weekends filming and stuff. Like it wasn't my life, but like the idea of it, you know what I mean? Like even at my younger years, it was like just so beautiful and like just to create that with like a team, and like thankfully I'm doing it now and it does feel awesome. And I would just told myself to like connect with people more, believe in yourself, because I didn't really have too much skills in making films because I wasn't making any films. Like when we made Omnivid and stuff, it's like kind of the first real thing I worked on. I was like, oh my god, like like something in my head somehow like made it out into like the real world, and like that was the first time, which I really appreciate you for because like you gave me that first little step and like yeah, you can create something and it can be tangible. And it took me a little bit, like couple of years to like go back and like really get into it, but like I wouldn't trade this for the world. Like it makes me so happy. I could just wake up and like turn on my computer and work on a little project and just it's so beautiful, and I just hope everyone finds their own little thing like that.
Dude, I mean, that's so cool. It's a great perspective of, like, why it's important to be inclusive in these creative programs.
Yeah.
Because just getting to saturate yourself in that experience, you might want to hop into stuff at that point in your life, or you might
Yeah.
want to do it a little later, but, like, you get to experience it.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess I kind of had the inverse of, like, hopping in and things were great and then completely burning out.
Yeah.
For years, and it's been the
That's
journey of like,
insane.
getting back to it. Yeah,
Yeah, it's like we opposites.
I guess that's the cycle to things, and then you have to like find a way to return. I don't
Yeah.
know. Like, I feel like I'm starting to return.
Oh yeah, dude, I'm loving
But
your
I go,
page. I'm
like,
loving your interactions. Like I love that I get to hear your voice more and like you're a more present part of my life because of the Aurora.
No, I love your reflections, and I love the way it just sounds like a very peaceful way of looking at it all, and knowing that like you're, I don't know. Well, you have to live life, and that means you have to put yourself out there, and that can be just absorbing, or it can be finding a way to participate. Like, I feel like a lot of my discussions have been, how do you get from a place of not doing to doing? And it's like, I don't know. Like, in my periods of, like, my dark years, I was definitely doing stuff.
Yeah.
It's just it wasn't what I thought I wanted to be productive in.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh no, no, no. Like taking the time to like step away from the world and like get spiritual and like, align and stuff.
Yeah.
Totally valuable. And sometimes you just have to like read a lot of books and like have no idea what's going on.
Yeah.
Just like I don't know. And then all of a sudden it's like, oh, I've heard this before.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I love that. Yeah. Take a year off, read some books. Like, be sad and like figure yourself out, and then come back stronger with a purpose, or like I literally like I went into this journey like coming out with like values, like I didn't have values beforehand, so I'm just like, okay, now I have some values I can like hopefully help steer me in like a better direction when I'm dealing with certain situations, just like that's helped me out a bunch. I feel like, yeah, I won't tell you all of them, but like one of them is just being honest more, like honesty, just like being a really big value. So like I find myself being honest even when it's uncomfortable for me, and more often than not, I'm in a better place because of it.
You're not holding
Especially,
back.
yeah. And that's like
Yeah.
even when you talk to people and they're like, okay, and I feel like they can sense the honesty or they appreciate it more. So I have a better like rapport with people because of it.
So like I was gonna ask you, how do you define values? So values are ways that you know things that really work for you and your
Yeah,
soul and the way you're connecting with things. If you do it in this way, we're in a good place and you understand where the
yeah,
line has to be drawn.
yeah. It's like your values like push you back into the road that you want for yourself at that time. Mango wants to high. So it's like
Hi.
if I want to be this type of person, then my values that I choose will push me to be this type of person, Like,
Yeah.
different values take you different places, but, like, through my experience of being Elmer, like, I know I used to be, like, a compulsive liar when I was in high school and as a kid. Just to kind of survive and stuff. Like, I just lie to
Sure.
people. And, like, as
Yeah.
an adult, like, I find myself being able to, like, give, like, white lies so easily. So, like, as an adult, I'm like, no. Like, that was this thing from my
Oh,
childhood.
that's so cool.
So like now I think honesty is really big for me because the more that I'm honest, the more it forces me to grow, and the more I'm growing, the more I can be more spiritually in line with like myself, with loving and stuff. So
Dude, that's so cool. It's
ah
I don't know, it's great that you're seeing that part of you that never got to grow.
yeah,
And now
yeah,
you're like, we will water this.
yeah. Oh, that's a perfect way to say it. And the thing is, I don't say it like this.
You're
Like I
getting
just
it back to like where you are now with other stuff.
exactly. Like I'm trying to get everything like lifting up because that's something I definitely need to bring up because if I water that part of myself, then like I'll gain more happiness with the interactions that I have, and then like another one is like just focus and
Mm,
like if I can remind myself to just focus more because that's one thing like I struggle with,
sure.
especially with like working on these projects, if I can work on my honesty, my focus, then I know I'll be in a better place for like where I want to be as like myself professionally and like community wise or like personally with people. I've never said it out loud like this, which is insane because like when I described it to you a second ago, I was like, oh, that does make sense. Like the previous thing we talked about, it's like I know these things, but like I don't say it verbatim, which I think is what like
That's so
journaling is
cool.
important. Yeah, so this is very therapeutic for me.
It's interesting. This is the third interview I've done so far, and everyone has had those moments where, and I'm having them too each time as well, but like, everyone has reached out to me and been like, I now have seen things about myself. I just think it's because it's a different space.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah,
it doesn't matter what, like, it could be any podcast really, but I think, like, there's a space here and we can talk and it's a different type of interaction and then
yeah.
poof, you get to see it.
We're so
It's
used to
interesting
like
focus though.
yeah, Focus, yeah.
I
I
have
was
that
picking
too.
some. Tell me.
I was realizing, like in my meditation class a few months ago, like we were looking at we were doing shadow a group shadow work, and it was like, what's a big fear of yours? And I'm like,
Yeah,
my big fear is the fear of missing out on things that I feel that I should experience. And
yeah,
it's like, well, why do you feel like you're gonna miss out on them? And I was like, because I'm so scattered. And it
yeah,
took a minute, but I was like, oh, because when I was growing up, there were a lot of adults around me, and I love my family, but you got a podcast
yeah,
like everybody's dead. Like it's there were a lot of obligations that people had, and there was a lot of baggage that my parents and grandparents and everybody had, aunts and
yeah,
uncles, and not everybody, most everybody was not able to regulate themselves in a healthy ways. So as
yeah,
like the eldest in my family, eldest sibling, child in my family, it was
yeah,
a place where I had to be scattered, and there's like a lot of ADHD tendencies, a lot of anxiety in my
yeah.
family, and it's definitely this thing of like moving fast because you get dopamine kicks that way, which
Yeah,
reinforce that you're okay. So
yeah,
you have these tendencies of having, like, if you went to a family party like my grandma's house, like, I love everybody dearly,
yeah.
but most people can't keep up because there's 18
No,
conversations happening at the same time.
and
And
you'd
like
have to yeah,
and I have to maintain all of it. So
yeah,
it's like I learned at a very early age that I kind of got ensnared that like love is showing attention, but you have to be scattered with it. It has to be
oh,
everywhere, but not necessarily in here,
yeah,
you know. So I'm learning that it's not an issue as much about focus, but it's like directing the attention
yeah,
and understanding that like I guess I also had a big realization about like my I was defining mixing up my definitions of attention and affection.
yeah,
So in a lot of
yeah,
ways, if I get attention, then I'm seen, and it's like, but that doesn't mean affection. That doesn't
no,
mean love. That means
yeah,
that someone might be getting something out of you, or they might just be seeing you because you're in the way.
yeah,
Things like that. So now that I'm realizing my job is to not, as an adult, is to see little me, give myself
yeah,
that experience of seeing little me, and then realizing everybody can take care of their own journeys. It's not
yeah,
my job to regulate everybody and to fix everybody and to hold on to all this. It's my job to sit here and be like, you know, what is affection? What is love? And what does that actually feel like?
yeah,
So that when I do that, then it's like, oh, I know exactly what to focus on. You know, like I want to write
yeah,
my little stories, and I want to like eat snacks
yeah,
and
yeah,
have some tea and like I don't know,
yeah,
like get cozy and that's all that I want to do. Right? There are no other desires other than like showing up for me, and it's like I'm here.
yeah, dude,
That yeah. But that helped because I feel like because I took the ADHD medicine for a little while, and I grew up thinking like I couldn't focus. I was always distracted. I was always this and the
yeah,
other. And it's like, maybe we need to look at the systems at play before we
yeah,
label children in this way.
yeah, yeah, yeah. We're living in like just these environments. Just there's a lot going on. Just a lot of stimulants, and it's maybe I remember seeing something that was like maybe like kids with ADHD or just like that's how they survive in this world that we're in right now. That's the only way to survive because it's just so hectic. Like with all these emotions and all of these like world events going on, like I can only imagine like the amount of stress that people are living under internally, worrying about their well being, like just stepping outside. So just a lot of different factors and like and maybe in a different time we'd have less people with ADHD, but in a different time we don't have AI and like the threat of war. Well, actually, no. There's always a threat of war looming, like looming. But we have access to all this information, so it's like it's happening every second. At least back in the day, like war might be happening. You get in a newspaper, or you hear it like through word of mouth. but not every single
Right. It's
person has.
removed.
Yeah, we get HD content of like the most fucked up shit happening to other humans.
Well, and that's something that like bugs me about social media. It's like I have to mute people that just like I mean, I don't always do it, but like just seeing like some tank blow somebody up or like
Yeah,
these crazy videos and it's like I understand that there's a problem and I understand that
yeah,
these things are not being I'm not talking necessarily about this situation. I think what I'm
yeah,
referring to is with like Russia and Ukraine. Like I understand that there are these big issues happening, but what's the goal of just resharing stuff? Like we're
yeah,
just triggering everybody, and now
yeah,
everybody's getting more and more stressed, which I think is the whole goal.
yeah.
Stressed
That's why
out.
I don't like sharing like like gruesome like posts like that because like I see them every day and it's definitely affected me like in a negative way. Like my mental health is definitely like, just I'm more sad. I'm more like and I'm not trying to push that upon like my other friends unless they personally want to seek it out themselves. That shit will fuck your whole day up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Especially if you go on your phone in the morning.
Yep.
We're not supposed
Exactly.
to, but we all do. And it's
I
like,
know. I know. Yeah.
I did buy an alarm clock that you plug into the wall. However, it is really bright, so I
Really.
don't use it.
You need to get a classic one that just has like ding ding. And you have to hit it.
Yeah, literally.
Yeah, the ones you see in the movies, like every like main character
Like it
wakes
jumps
up.
up.
Yeah. Yeah.
I need a rooster. I need a farm. I need farm animals to wake me up.
Or like that
Like I
fillet of
need, I
fish.
need nature. I need like
Yeah.
dew and humidity to wake me up. That's
Like a
the dream.
sprinkler system. Just you're like, oh, it's time. Hey, dude, have you seen the new trailer to
Avatar.
Avatar Last? Yeah.
Dude, I did see it.
It's oh my god.
It's funny because
Fingers
it like
crossed.
looks just like the animation.
Yeah.
Are you
No.
excited about it? Are you apprehensive? Or are you looking forward to certain things?
I'm just here like I feel like it's never gonna be the source material, but I'm gonna enjoy being able to see these characters in a new
Mm-hmm.
light and see bending like live action. So I mean,
That'd be dope.
yeah, it's gonna happen either way. So I'm gonna enjoy it. I'm not gonna be here and be like super anal about it. I hope they have like the same kind of theme and like the episodes as they had in the cartoon of like you know what I mean. Just
Every episode needs to end with Wait, hold on. Ah, Abba.
yeah,
Every episode needs to end with him. Da 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 da. And they're like floating off. They're on his back,
yeah,
and it's like
yeah.
da 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 da.
Yeah, that was
Ding.
every episode. Yeah, oh my god, that
Isn't this
was every
great?
episode. I like the actor that's playing McGuire, but like I hope he's just like as wise and like cheeky and like like he can see the bigger picture, but he's like just letting Zuko do his thing, like the side eyes, like the Avatar needs to do his thing. Like I'm not opposed to the Avatar, like from the get go. Like not like he hates the Avatar. If anything, he respects him.
He never stops calling him Prince Zuko, even though he knows like he's not ever gonna get his honor back that way.
Yeah,
But he knows that if he stops calling him Prince, his ego is gonna just not know what to do and it's gonna crumble.
yeah,
So
I
cool that
mean,
he guided him
yeah.
away from it.
And he became the Fire Lord, so I mean, like he was a more peaceful Fire Lord because he had all these lessons Iroh taught him.
Yeah.
He wasn't a dick.
Well,
I mean,
he
yeah,
was.
it was, yeah. But I mean, like,
Yeah, there's ebbs and flows. We all go through that.
yeah. I think he'll always be like dick adjacent, but like not an asshole.
I feel like whenever I watch it, like again, like, the animation, it's like I'm so glued to Zuko's journey.
Yeah, it's
I get the
literally
anger so much. Like,
yeah, like he misses his mom, like becomes a blue spirit. He fucking like he changes his perspective, becomes a good guy, and it's just like it's his arc is phenomenal. Yeah, it's the best arc. It's one of the best arcs, and hopefully it translates. the universe works in its own time, and like you said, like I'm just like accepting shit right now, and I'm just letting go and letting the waves take me instead of trying to swim in a direction.
That's
But
good.
it's good to swim in a direction sometimes, But
Sometimes it's good to like. I feel like with Aurora, I'm realizing like none of this is gonna be successful because I planned every step of the way. It's gonna be let's hop on a call because the vibe is there, and I know the vibe has been there, and let's just be comfortable filming it and putting it out there, and like nothing bad is gonna happen,
yeah,
and we're gonna like get into it, and like I used to be so terrified of like filming myself, like I'm like it's just not gonna happen, and I actually think that's a big reason why I was always directing.
yeah,
It's a
yeah,
way to hide away
yeah,
from it, or why I had people perform the audio dramas for me, but not read them myself.
yeah,
So this is like when I post the 100th reel, then I'll, look at the data.
yeah.
I'll go back and see like what worked and what didn't, but not until hit the 100th video or the
Does it
30th
make you
episode.
does it make you happy?
Yeah,
That's it.
because it's like it's just what it's like when like you're on like a run and like you hit mile 3 and you're just like, okay, this is good. It doesn't matter. Like I
Yeah,
feel like I'm running and it's a good pace and I'm not
yeah,
sprinting and I'm not beating myself up, but it's cool.
yeah,
It feels good like having people respond too, but I'm trying to be like it doesn't feel good filming it yet.
yeah,
I'm very still judgmental of I don't know, my the way my voice is or the way that I present myself, but I know
yeah,
that like I got to post it and then walk away and then an hour or two later I go back and I'm like, "Oh, this is fine. Oh,
yeah,
this is great. Oh, this is
yeah,
really good." So,
yeah. The
but
thing, like when you're experiencing it in the moment, it's not the same as you reliving it because it's like two different experiences. Like right now, we're going
mhm.
from inside out, and then like when we take it in, it goes from outside in. So we get to see ourselves talk in this linear way. But right now, we're just experiencing it in a linear way, but we're not digesting it in a story way. But like I'm sure when we watch it again, we'll be like, oh wow, I did make a lot of sense there. But like when you're talking in the moment, you're just spitting out like second by second what you're feeling. Yeah,
Yeah.
there's a rhyme or reason to it. I feel like we definitely been on. We had some good chats and had some good motion, and like I'm excited to like listen back to it because you had me like really like understanding things that I've been like working on for like this past 2 years and like in a very blatant way just because just saying it out loud, to a
Hmm.
friend, just yeah. So it was nice. I feel like I'm definitely where I want to be spiritually. Well, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I'm just thankful of where I am and I want to be in a better place. I just want to continue growing, but like I'm appreciative of where I am right now. Yeah.
Dude, well said.
Yeah.
And you're in a great place because we're going to be able to continue to do this. One of my goals here is to like bring on just like a bunch of different guests and then start to build a community through this. So
Yeah.
it's like people from different backgrounds, different walks of life are like all of a sudden going to be listening to each other.
Yeah.
And like
I
then
think
let's bring them in the same room. Like
that'd be
let's
awesome.
let's
Yeah.
learn from each other because like we got to learn. We got to learn stuff. And
Yeah.
it's the best way to do it.
Community is important, and like telling your troops is important. And let's say a year from now, you interview me again, and I get a job at a production studio that like I was excited for. I'm like, this is where my headspace is right now, with like this goal that like I wanted, that I thought was like the ultimate goal. Now this is my
Hmm.
goal right now, and to see that the differences and just like okay, like it's not necessarily about getting the thing that you want. It's about like the journey and how you change as like a person while doing all these things.
Yeah, and you'll be able to look back at this interview, like at that point when you're in the studio or wherever
Yeah.
you are,
Yeah.
and then 5 years from now, and then 10 years from now,
Yeah. 100%. Yeah.
dude.
This was nice. I feel, yeah. Thank you. This has been very
Thank you. I'm so glad we
therapeutic.
did this. Thanks for
Yeah, me
jumping
too.
on.
Of course. It's a good way to start my Friday. Well, I mean,
Yeah.
mid Friday, yeah. I have the rest of the day to kind of like bask in this energy and hopefully like interact with some friends and just like be present.
You do a good job of that.
No, appreciate you.
Thanks for listening, everyone. Thank you, everyone, for tuning into this episode of Aurora Airwaves. I look forward to sharing more with you in the episodes to come. More art, more conversations with creatives, more and more Aurora energy. Please take just 5 seconds and give us a 5-star review on Spotify. It'll help us be seen by more and more people. It really will help. Check out our YouTube channel, where more and more Aurora energy is being shared every week. If you're looking for a little more to listen to, I hope you enjoy last episode's presentation of Aurora Art, where my audio drama, The Hunting of Tuliketu, airs. Tuliketu is the fox of the Northern Lights. I can't wait to share more Aurora art in the next episode. And if you're looking for a little more, visit our YouTube, where you can watch an animation of The Hunting of Tuliketu, created by enormously talented college students at Villa Maria. I'll see you next time.